What's the first thing that you think of when I say the word mental illness, and what kind of images come in here?
I guess hospitals.
Mad people.
Mental illness.
Mental illness.
Mental illness.
Oh dear, mental illness.
Isn't that somebody that had problems up there, somewhere in the head?
Basically people speaking to themselves, people that get sort of illusions.
I just think of some twangy kind of Brits, some funny looking kind of, you know what I mean?
Stuff like drugs and needles.
Other people. It's something I associate with other people.
If you go back, way back in years gone by, it would be stigma, it would be something not to be talked about, something to be hidden under the carpet.
Different forms of depression.
Maybe depressed.
Depression.
A person that could have had a breakdown or something, and that their mind, that their mental state, they're not thinking on a correct level. That
People being ostracised from society.
Being misunderstood.
Sometimes I just can't believe somebody can actually go mental
Sad, but also happy.
Unleashed creative ability.
People that are, you sit on the bus and you're like, they speak to themselves and you're just like, these people are off key.
Mental illness. It's not funny. It's obviously someone who's who's got problems upstairs in the brain, in the head.
Incarceration.
In a way, not being bad, but stay quite clear.
Hearing voices.
People who's insane, they don't understand what you're talking about.
Stereotypes, kind of misunderstandings and misrepresentation, I think. A lot of that's to do with film, the media, the press.
do you think I'm crazy? Think I'm crazy?
Pencil. 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 Pencil.
Has anyone you know, I mean, you say you work with people, could you go in a bit more detail like this?
Well, I got a friend, and it's me and him actually had an argument together.
Yeah, someone I know has been affected quite seriously.
I do know someone who's been affected mentally.
Yes, I do.
Yeah?
I'm not going to say that.
Okay, you don't have to go into any detail.
Unfortunately, quite a few.
Not directly, but I've heard of people who have had problems.
I worked for social services back in Sussex for 3 years, and I did family support. I worked with a 15-year-old boy and his young mum.
Someone who was quite close to me suffered probably about, I suppose, yeah, they still suffer from it, from depression, and there was a time when it was serious, when it was almost consuming every part of their life.
I've seen a family member encounter where the person was actually sectioned under 1982 Mental Health Act.
People, or the particular person in this case, is a young person, probably no more than their mid-20s, that I think might have been involved in some drug abuse.
Mum was an ex-drug user, psychotic, on a lot of prescribed drugs. She was agoraphobic, hardly left the house.
And I've seen symptoms of schizophrenia. I work alongside people with mental health problems. So, yeah.
It didn't. I was shocked to hear when he told me, yeah, but I didn't believe it because he didn't come across as somebody. He didn't fit my perception of somebody with someone who had a mental illness would have. You know what I mean? He just seemed normal. He went through like a depressing time, and I was there, or whatever. But I just didn't think it was that bad for him to be sexual. I didn't think he had a mental illness. It just took him a little bit longer to get through the situation than most people.
There's this assumption that somebody mental can just lose it just like that, and you never know when it's going to happen or what you're going to say to make it happen, and so you're so scared to be around them to say the wrong thing, and that is what is being kind of portrayed in certain types of media.
The impact on that was extreme in that mum and son would hardly leave the house together. There was a lot of arguments, but sort of they couldn't be with each other, couldn't be without each other.
How did it affect your relationship with him?
It was deep. It had a huge effect because I was young. I was very young at the time, and I suppose when you're a kid, you're not really capable to deal with things like that. You don't have the capacity. You don't even have the mental capacity yourself to deal with that much pressure and strain. And also, and it's a thing where, if it's a case of it's someone you look up to, someone who's a role model to you, or a parent, it's a thing where it's unsettling. It's almost like everything you ever held as concrete and solid can be dissolved just by this two-word thing, mental illness, or one-word depression.
I'm not. They were put on medication. I'm not exactly sure what, but it didn't work.
Say around a good couple months after now seeing him from this argument, I actually feel sorry for him. Like I seen him like he's changed, he don't comb his hair, he looks like a flipping zombie. That's the way I can name it to you. You get what I'm saying? It's not nice, man.
They expect you to be a certain way, you know, there's, especially since, you know, through traditions in terms of with Islamic faith, in terms of Indian culture, in terms of society today, if you act a certain way, then you either get cast away or you're considered some sort of, you know, outsider. Do you get what I mean? And yeah, so in terms of mental illness, maybe they're not mental. Do you know what I mean?
We can only say that something is insane or mad in comparison to something that isn't. But then who has decided what isn't? Who has decided, you know, what normal is? Madness assumes that there is something else that is normal, that is different from it. Who decides what that is?